Hello my loves, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your girl Kensthetic with the Kensthetics, and I'm here with you guys today with a new video. So in today's video I'll be sharing my long-awaited life update. I haven't done one of these videos in almost 2 months, and as you guys can probably imagine, I have so much to catch you guys up on. So in today's video I will be sharing updates on what's been going on in my life. We'll talk about dating, the men's, the boys, the things. If you guys are interested in hearing more, then go ahead and keep on watching. Before we get started with today's video, don't forget to subscribe to your girl's YouTube channel. We are growing and glowing, and I would hate for you guys to miss it. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Drop a comment down below with your thoughts, comments, questions, opinions after watching this entire video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna do my makeup with you guys as we chit chat. So I'll have all of the products linked down below in the order that I'm using them, but I really want to focus on the chit chat in today's video, so I'll have everything linked down below, and if anything deserves an honorable mention, it'll get the honorable mention. Let's start off with this primer. This is the New Milk Glow and what is it called? Grip and Glow primer in the shade, I think it's Sienna. Where's the shade on it? But I've been using this primer and I've been liking it. It's literally the Hydro Grip with a highlighter. Y'all see that? Nice instant glow. Love it. So life has been lifing per usual. I'm gonna start off with dating updates / story times because that is what I've been promising you guys the most. So if you guys have been watching my channel, you guys would have known that I was in New York for about 3 weeks for work and personal obligations. And while I was in New York, one of the things that I attended was one of my close friends from college, his baby shower, which I shared in my vlog. So while I was at that baby shower, y'all, I got so drunk. I was toe up like scuba them, okay? I got so drunk, and I haven't drank like that in a while. And in case you guys haven't seen my recent vlog, I told you guys I'm trying to do 30 days with no drinking. I feel like it didn't scar me, but I'm just like, girl, you're 30 years old. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What really are you doing? I was like, I just need to stop drinking for a little minute. Just for a little minute, y'all, not forever, because that's too much. So I was at the baby shower, was drunk, and I remember being at the bathroom with my friends, and I started talking to this guy. But when I'm drunk, I am friendly AF. I will start a conversation with this tripod right here while I'm drunk, okay? So I started talking to this guy, and he was cool, but I'm the type of girl where when I'm speaking to men, I'm not always like, oh, he's into me, or he wants to mess with me. Like, I'm not that type of girl. Like, I believe that males and females could be friends. So when I'm speaking to someone, it's not off of the strength of like, oh, I want to like date this person or talk to this person. Like, it's nice to have conversations with men sometimes, you know, refreshing. You get a different perspective. So we were just talking like regular conversation. I remember he was telling me how he like speaks French, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, blah 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 blah. So come to find out, everybody ate. No, come to find out, I gave him my phone number, like we exchanged phone numbers. So I told you guys in the vlog that I got so drunk I went to sleep with my makeup on. I never go to sleep with my makeup on. I wake up the next morning and I'm, you know, doing regular recovery hangover tactics, and I get a text. And if you know me, my phone, like everyone in my phone that I text, like group chats, my main friends, my main family, everybody's on do not disturb because I hate to hear my phone. Like, whenever I hear my phone ding, I know it has really no business dinging because everybody who should be texting me is on do not disturb. So it may sound bad, but I really don't like hearing a dinging of a phone, y'all. Like, grinds my gears. So either way, I'm doing my do, and I get a text. I hear a text. I said, oh wait, this is out of the ordinary because everyone is on do not disturb. So I look at my phone and I see a contact name saved. So not only do we exchange numbers, but he saved his number in my phone. So I'm really confused at this point because I don't remember giving him my number or us exchanging phone numbers, let alone allowing him to store his number in my phone. So that means I passed my phone over to him. Like, I'm not drinking for 30 days, y'all. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But the thing with me, the reason why I was so like distraught about it is because I don't give people the number to this phone. This is my main phone. This is my main line. This is the phone number I have everything connected to. I usually give people the number to this phone. This is more so like my business phone, you know, and other activities. So once I saw that he texted my main phone, I was like, whoa, I had to be drunk because there was no way on this green earth that I made that mistake. And just a little background, because if you guys are new here, y'all probably like, girl, why do you have 2 phones? I actually have 3. What's this, like, why, what's going on? What are you running? So long story short, it's always a long story short, and then a long story is never short. But I had an experience in the past where somebody's female took it upon themselves to call my phone down, and I had to change my phone number. And that was my main phone number. You don't realize how much stuff you have connected to your phone number until you have to change your phone number. So I'm like, yeah, no, everybody's getting the business line from now on, because if a situation happens and I have to change that number, there's less things connected to that phone number. But either way, so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I gave him my number. So we're texting, the conversation is cool. Texting back at an appropriate rate, like not too quickly, but also not too slow. I pay attention to a lot of things, and that's what I realized throughout the past like month of these experiences is like I really pay attention to a lot of things, and it's not a bad thing. I'm gonna preface it by saying that. But as we continue along these stories, y'all are gonna be like, damn girl, like, no, but these are the things you have to pay attention to, okay? So he's texting me back at an appropriate rate. Conversation is cool. He's actually like driving conversation, because a lot of the times I find myself being the person to keep a conversation going, and he's like, you know, asking questions, saying things. So I'm like, okay, cool, do. So he's like, oh, you know, how long are you here for? I'm like, I leave on the 14th. And he's like, okay, cool, like we should hang out before you leave. Not my camera overheating. So I'm like, okay, cool. He's asking to take me out. So at this point is where I'm like, okay, he wants to talk to me, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm not the type of girl where I just assume that every man who I have a conversation with wants to date me or wants to, you know, pursue things. So once he said like we should hang out again before you leave, I'm like, okay, he's asking me on a date. Very forefront with that. I'm like, okay, cool. So as we're talking, in my head, I'm like, he didn't mention plans of like where we're going, when we're going. So we met on Friday. On Monday, he was like, oh, let's go out on Friday, like the following Friday. I'm like, okay, cool, because in my head, I'm like, that gives me a week to figure out if he's a weirdo or not, if he's a psychopath or not, if he has good intentions or not. I feel like a week, you could find out a lot in a week. So I could find out a lot in a week. I don't know about y'all, because I low-key feel like in my past life, I used to work for the FBI. So we're talking, I find out that he has a kid. His kid is 2. So I prefer not to date men with kids. So I'm like, okay, he has a kid, the kid is 2. I'm like, okay, cool. That means that you and your baby mother were together at least 3 years ago. And y'all could still be messing around. But at the end of the day, it's just a date, right? But at the same time, I asked him, like, you know, what's your relationship with the mother of your child? And he's like, we don't get along. And I'm like, okay, red flag. Number 1. So he's like, most of the time his child stays with his sister. And I'm like, okay, not red flag too, but like, I don't know your situation. So let me not like speak until I have further clarity on that point right there. So we're talking, and as we're speaking, I'm like, okay, he's probably asking questions in a way to figure out like where we should go on a date on Friday. So I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm just like, okay, Friday, I have it blocked off because he said he wants to take me out after I'm done with work. So I'm going through my work week. This is the first time I'm back in office. I'm tired, I'm waking up early, I'm getting in late, I still have to cook dinner, I still have to do a lot. So by Friday, I already knew like I'm gonna be tired. So on Fridays, I usually just like to unwind, but I already promised like, you know, I'm gonna go out with him. So basically in conversation, he was telling me that basically he doesn't, like he prefers to eat seafood, and I was like, what type of seafood? And then we got to speak about branzino. So I was like, oh, it's a spot in New York City. If you know, you know. It's a spot in New York City that has the best branzino. And every time I come to the city, I always make sure that I go there. So he's like, oh, cool. Like, we should go there for the date on Friday. So in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. A part of me is like, I planned a date, you didn't. But at the same time, I'm just like, I want the branzino. So let's go. Let me say this as well, the food is very pricey at this restaurant, okay? That is a place you go when you are on a date. That is a place you go when somebody else is covering the bill. I could cover the bill myself, but I just prefer somebody else to cover the bill. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, we go there on Friday. I'm like, okay, cool. It's also a place where you kind of have to like dress up. I didn't really bring dress up clothes. I didn't intend on meeting somebody's son, going on a date, all of this. Friday comes, and I actually end up getting my period on Thursday. And I'm really happy about this because, I mean, nothing was gonna happen, but at the same time, it's easier for me to explain that I left my coochie at home. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I don't know what his intentions are either. He didn't really give me that, but you know, when you see people in person, things be getting different all of a sudden. But either way, he's like, Friday comes, and throughout the week, like, if I had time on my lunch break, we would get on the phone. So Friday, I ended up taking myself, was that the day I went on a solo date? I don't remember. Friday, I just remember during my lunch break, we were on the phone, and I was already a little irritated because, as I told you guys, my period started the day before on Thursday. So hold on, let me let this camera, my setting powder just dropped. We were on the phone during my lunch break on Friday, and he made mention like, did you make the reservation? Or like, what time did you make the reservation for tonight? I literally stopped in my tracks in the middle of the street, and I'm like, excuse me? Mind you, I'm already irritated. I'm on my period. This is the like most, you know how you have that day of your period where it's like everything is just heightened. Feelings, body aches, but like everything, you just don't want to be bothered. So that was me on Friday. So he's like, what time did you make the reservation for? And I'm like, I didn't make the reservation. I said, I thought you were gonna make the reservation. And he's like, oh, I forgot what he said, but I'm like, not only did you take the spot from me, but you want me to make the reservation too? At this point, am I taking you on a date, or are you taking me on a date? He's like, oh, I'll make it. What time should I make it for? Like, not trying to shut me up, but basically trying to shut me up. Because once I start talking, maybe I start talking. And I guess you're already sure that I was just like pissed off. So then he said like, we agreed on a time for him to make it for him. Like, okay, cool, I should be ready by that time. And then he's like, I said something like, what time should I expect my car to get there, or something like that? Because I'm like, I need door-to-door service. So like, I don't date often, and when I do date, baby, people have me all the way set up, okay? So if I have my car, don't get me wrong, like if I'm here in Houston, fine, I'll drive. I have no problem with that. But when I'm in New York, I'm used to princess treatment and princess treatment only. So what we really doing? Like, I shouldn't have to tell you that, but the fact that I had to tell you that, and not only did I have to tell you that, but the way you responded. So he was like, oh, wait, you expect a car to come pick you up? I said, yeah, how am I supposed to get there? And he was like he started giggling or something. I'm like, what's funny? And he's like, oh, you want door-to-door service? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I bet. And I'm like, I bet could mean one of two things. I bet could mean I got you, or I bet could be you played yourself. What you think, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, I bet. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because at this point, I'm about to go back into work. When I'm at work, I'm not really in my phone, paying attention to my phone. And once I get off of work, I have to basically rush home and get ready for whatever time this magic school, this imaginary car is gonna pick me up. So he's like, what, like you want an Uber? And I'm like, I mean, I get, like, I don't know. You could do car service, you could do an Uber, like, whatever you feel comfortable doing. He's like, oh, like basically making a big deal out of it. And I'm like, So I'm like, kind of like, just forget it. Like, I don't want to go back and forth with you. I don't go back and forth with people, especially not over a first date. I'm sorry. So he's like, oh, like basically like trying to give in, like, oh no, like it's fine, I got you. And at this point, it's like, if it's a burden for you to do this for me, I don't want you to do it for me. And that's what anything in life, and that's what anyone in life. So he's like, oh no, like I got you, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, okay. So I go into work and he doesn't like text me. I'm not texting him, but also I'm busy working, so I don't think anything of him. So I take my talents home and I'm like, let me wait until I hear from him to start getting ready, because it's kind of unusual that I haven't heard from him and it's been so many hours. I spoke to him on my lunch break. So we spoke at like 1, and at the time I got home from work, it was like 6:30, and I think we agreed to go at 9. So I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and get ready and I still haven't heard from you, but at the same time, I'm also not hitting you up because you're the one who asked me out. So, you know, so I don't chase no man, period. He calls me and we're talking, and I mentioned like, yeah, you know, I'm on my period, so I'm a little irritated. And then he said something like, oh, if you don't want to go, say that. So I said, okay, I don't want to go. Something in my gut, something in my soul, something in my spirit told me like, girl, just stay home. So I was gonna do exactly that, baby. I was halfway through my twist out while I was on the phone with him, ready to go in my bed. So you don't have to tell me to tell. I don't want to go, sir. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't know if he thought I was gonna be like, oh no, blah blah blah. So then, of course, he starts going crazy. He's like, oh, we've been speaking about this all week, and it's kind of messed up how I haven't ate all day. I was waiting. You didn't eat all day. Don't blame me for you not eating all day. You knew we were going out at 9 o'clock. You made the reservation. So what you mean you didn't eat all day? Like, why are you trying to make me feel bad that you didn't eat all day? That don't have nothing to do. I was so confused. I'm like, you didn't eat all day. It's 6:30. You okay? So he's like, I didn't eat all day. I was like running around. I was waiting for us to go out to eat later. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know, I don't feel well, so you told me if I don't feel like going, it's fine, and I just told you I don't feel like going. So I don't know what more you want from me at this point. Like, don't tell me to tell you something or make me feel comfortable saying something, and when I say it, it's a problem, you know? So at this point, I already know, like, baby, you don't even know. You don't even know. And it's so crazy because you don't even know this is your last time speaking to me. Like, I am quick to block. I'm quick to block somebody's phone number, baby. Like, I am the queen. I could block somebody's phone number with my eyes closed at this point. So I'm like, oh, he doesn't even know this is his last time speaking to me. So he's carrying on, and I'm like listening, but like not really listening, because at the same time, I already know once we get off this phone call, you're getting blocked. So he's chatting, just basically like trying to make me feel bad about not going, and I'm like, this really shows your character, and this is why I was second guessing all day if I should go or not. Like, my gut is never wrong, my intuition is never wrong. So I'm just like, oh yeah, this is why I felt this way all day. This is why I was just over it from the time when he asked me, oh, did you make the reservation? So either way, he's going in telling me how it's so messed up, blah blah blah, and I'm literally just like on the phone twisting my hair out. Like, I was actually vlogging while I was on the phone twisting my hair out. I just like muted it and put like B-roll, whatever. So he's going in. I'm just there like, yeah. I don't even think I was saying anything back, because at one point he's like, are you still there? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. So we get off the phone and I blocked him. But at first I felt bad. Like, you know when somebody's trying to make you feel bad? If you're a good person, or if you have like good intentions, it's gonna get to you. Not it may get to you, it's gonna get to you, because you start second guessing like, damn, am I really this person that they're painting me out to be? Like, what's tea, you know? So I kind of felt guilty at first, but then I'm like, nah, you tried to basically do me. Like, you tried to play a game, and I don't play games, okay? I don't. This camera keeps overheating, so I don't think we're gonna do the full update. I think I'm just gonna leave this as like a dating update, and then we'll do like separate categories. And I'm also almost done with my makeup. So he tried to make me feel bad about it, and for a second I did, but then afterwards I'm like, nah, you weren't even worthy of my time and my energy. And the thing with dating is that it sounds cool, but you have to really like put in, I don't want to say a lot of effort, but you have to take time out of your schedule and take outfits out of your closet and get ready to go out and sacrifice. Like, my biggest thing is time. Like, that's the thing with dating, time. Because I have a very busy schedule. I work a 9-to-5 job. I have my content creation that I do on the side. I like to relax. I like to spend time with myself. Like, there's a lot that goes into my lifestyle as far as time, and I would be damned if I allow somebody's unworthy son to come in here and feel like they worthy of anything, because it never gave that. Yeah, I'm like, everything happens for a reason. I felt this way for a reason. I'm so happy that I listened to myself and did not go on that date, because I know what I'm worthy of, and what you won't do, somebody else's son will. That's one thing about it. I was like, okay, cool. So I did feel kind of bad that evening, but baby, the way I did that twist, I went to my bed. That sleep was immaculate. So that was like week 1. So week 2, follow me, follow me, follow me. Week 2, we had a little blast from the past. I ended up reconnecting with someone that I used to date back in the day. We dated when we were like, baby, I had no business. I had no business, but he was cool. He was a good time. So we reconnected, and I told him, like, you know, I'm leaving on the 14th, and he was like, okay, cool. I want to see you. Basically on Wednesday, so on 9/11, we ended up going on a date. He was like, oh, where do you want to go? Like, he made it very clear. He's like, you pick where you want to go, I guess I'll handle the rest. I said, okay, cool. But since he was somebody I know, and I know he's not like the organized type, like, I'm like, and also he's the type of person who he frequents the same places, and I'm just like, it's not giving that. We're going to get my Branzino that I was supposed to get last week. I told him where I wanted to go. He said, okay, cool. What time you get off work? I told him what time I get off work. And that was it. So Wednesday comes, and I get off of work, and I'm on my way home. And I realized we spoke in the morning, but we didn't speak like in the afternoon or the evening. So in my head, I'm like, are we still going? So I'm taking my time heading home. I call him. And he's like, I called you, you didn't answer. And I was like, oh, I was probably like underground on the train. He's like, where you at? I'm like, I'm on my way home from work. He goes, I'm in front of your house. And I have lived at the same place, like in New York, for the past, I don't even know how long. So he remembered where I lived. I'm like, oh, you have some good memory. And he's like, yeah, hurry up. So I get home. I literally had 15 minutes to shower, freshen up my makeup, get dressed, all of that. And he was very patient. He didn't rush me at all. And I'm like, okay, period. So we went to dinner. We had a great time. We were there talking for a good amount of time, catching up, and then another reason why I said I'm not drinking for 30 days, I end up getting drunk. But before we get to the I get drunk part, I know I told you I pay attention to very like minuscule details, but the minuscule details are the ones that matter. So as we're eating, I noticed that first of all, when the apps came out, he's like, oh damn, I don't have hand sanitizer. I'm like, oh, I have hand sanitizer, but he wanted to clean his hands. Okay? A lot of these men don't be cleaning their hands. And then before we started eating, he prayed over his food. I'm like, see, I had good taste at one point of life. So I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention to these things, but I'm just internalizing it because when I'm on a date, I pay attention to everything. So I'm paying attention. I'm like, okay, cute, good, cool, check, point, green, So before, I should have prefaced this by saying, before we even went on a date, to me, it was more of like a catch-up session. Like, he's really a cool guy, but I don't see a future with him. This man has kids, okay? When I say kids, I mean kids with a Z. There are multiple kids in the picture now. And I knew that before going on a date. I'm like, we can still be friends, you know? So the dinner was cool. Dinner was very good. I tried lobster for, I believe, the first time. I was out there ordering everything, girl, okay? So we leave, and when we leave, you know, he's gonna drop me home. I get drunk at the restaurant. I get drunk. Like, I get drunk. So, let me set with this now. Hold on. So even though I'm drunk, like, he's chilling, but mind you, he's never like seen me drunk before. Like, we were 12, 13. I wasn't drinking at those ages, you know? So he's just like cool. Like, he's not trying to like push up on me or nothing. And I respected him for that, because at the end of the day, I feel like what really worked in our relationship is the fact that we were friends before anything. So yeah, he dropped me home. We were talking, blah, 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 blah. Cool. So ever since then, we've been chatting here and there. But as I told you guys, I don't really expect or intend for this to go anywhere, because the man got kids with the Z. It just showed me, even though, like I told you guys, guy number 2, it's not going anywhere. But what one guy won't do for you, another guy will. This man, not only did he already know he had to come pick me up, which I feel like that's how it should be. Like, I don't know why men think that I'm going to commute on a date to, like, okay, if you send me an Uber, cool. And even with him, guy number 1 lived in Brooklyn. I stay in the Bronx, very far distances apart. So I wouldn't expect you to drive to the Bronx to get me, to then drive back to Manhattan to go to dinner, to then drive back to the Bronx to drop me off, to then drive back home to Brooklyn to drop yourself off. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't expecting that. What I'm saying is that you need to make sure I'm good. You need to make sure I'm set up from the time that I leave my house until the time when I reach back home, if I'm going on a date with you. And that's how it should be. Like, if a man is interested in you, he's supposed to court you. Like, you're not supposed to put yourself out of a way to go on a date that he asked you to go on. Like, what? So either way, I hope that if you're watching this and you never thought of dating this way, you up your expectations because you are worthy of them. And 2, don't make nobody play with you, because as I mentioned, what one man won't do, another man will sweep his way in and do. And whether you want him or not, he gonna do it, okay? So that's that on that. But overall, I just feel like I'm chilling. Like, I'm not, as I mentioned in one of my vlogs, I'm trying to have fun with dating, but at the same time, I'm only gonna go on dates that make sense. I'm not gonna break my back and overextend myself to go on dates with people who aren't worthy, you know? Also, I also wanted to say that after you're single for so long, it may feel kind of like, you may feel like I'm not worthy, or why am I single, or that something's wrong with you, or that you're the problem. Baby, that is not the case at all, okay? I've been single for, I'm not even gonna say how many years, but I've just been using the time to work on myself and to become a better person. And hold on, I can't talk and do this, but this Lancome mascara has slowly been becoming one of my faves. It's this Hypnos Drama from Lancome. Can y'all see? Got that. But yeah, babes, there's nothing wrong with you. Use that time to work on yourself, to work on your skills, to become a better person, so that when your person comes along, you're already prepped, you already have the foundations, the values, the principles, and you're securing yourself. Because when people go from relationship to relationship to relationship, which I feel like that was me at one point. Like, there was a point of time where as soon as I broke up with somebody, somebody else came along, or I started dating somebody else. And I feel like that is a form of escapism, or it could be, because it's like you're constantly putting yourself with someone to distract yourself from whatever you really have to deal with or should be dealing with. And I didn't look at it that way until afterwards, and I'm like, damn girl, you always had a man. You always kept a man. Mrs. always gonna keep a man. And although it sounds good, it's just like, you need time to heal. You need time to regather yourself. You need time to reflect on that relationship, you know? I just decided to put a little brown liner on. I don't know if this was really a good idea, but we already started, so we gotta finish. Mrs. Stay with the man is gonna stay with the man. It's not gonna stay with herself. So I took my hair down off camera. I recorded a separate video for you guys. So that should be going up very soon. Y'all never see me do a side part with a twist out, so I wanted to switch things up. So to summarize, dating in my 30s so far has given me more clarity and more peace, and it's allowed me to exercise the discernment that I have gained from pouring so much into myself. Like I have such a better judgment of energy, of character, of people, of things, of situations. So I'm really happy that I actually took the time to like actually heal and become a better person. And now that I'm dating again, I guess you could say that, even though nothing has really progressed to go anywhere, but it's the effort that counts, right? But I feel like I'm getting my feet back, you know, in the waters, testing out the waters, and nothing has been worth the test yet. So until it is, your girl will be single because I'm not settling for anything or anyone, especially not at this big age. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this chit chat / story time of dating in my 30s, and also what's been going on, because I gave you guys hints here and there in the vlog, but I never told you guys the full stories. So comment and let me know what you guys think. Just to summarize, I do not speak to either of these individuals. The first one, he's Black. The second one, we speak here and there, but for me, it's more so friends. I don't want it to be anything romantic because, as I mentioned, I can't date men with kids. It's not for me. Okay, it doesn't give stepmommy. It gives my first kid is your first kid, and it's our first kid together. So yeah, but comment and let me know your thoughts, comments, questions, opinions about anything mentioned in today's life update story time. I had so many other things that I want to speak to you guys about, but I'll break them out into separate videos. So some other topics I want to give you guys updates on is like therapy as a Black girl. I want to speak more about it, like how I found my therapist, tips on you guys starting therapy or trying to find a therapist. I want to give you guys a life update on that. Home ownership, finances / professional career, and just other miscellaneous things. So I will have more life updates coming for you guys. Hopefully I can get all of those out throughout the month of October. So make sure you guys stay tuned. You guys are subscribed. Also, let me know what y'all think about the side parts and the makeup look. Comment and let me know what you guys think. Switching things up for y'all. Period. But that brings us to the end of this video, so I really hope you guys enjoyed. As mentioned, all products used to create this beautiful face will be linked down below in the description box, so make sure you guys check the description box for links. Make sure you guys are subscribed, your bell notifications are turned on, because your girl is participating in Vlogtober, so I will be giving you guys tons of videos throughout the month of October. So make sure your post notifications are turned on. Give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to drop that comment down below. And until my next video, I'll see you guys later.